This is the Into the Paddock Podcast.
We must start with some sad news for some people, particularly if you're a fan of Drive to Survive, as it was confirmed that Netflix's ratings for Drive to Survive are going to tank in the next couple of years because Guenther Steiner has been sacked by Gene Haas and is no longer the team principal of the Haas Formula 1 team.
Oh, no. Anyway.
I'm surprised. I'm honestly surprised he's lasted this long.
Straight away, what do we think about this? Was it right? And as you alluded to there, Greg, is it too late?
Yeah, it is. I mean, look, I may be, I don't know, just too broadly speaking, but I believe he's the only one that's been there literally the whole time, right?
His replacement's also been there the whole time.
Yes, needless to say, he has been replaced by Ayo Komatsu, who has been... You will have heard his voice over radio messages to either Mick Schumacher or Romain Grosjean over the years, or I believe he's the engineer for Magnussen or Hulkenberg. It's one of the two, because that's their two drivers. Whilst I'm glad that he's gone, and whilst I feel like Guenther's tenure lasted way too long, given Haas's Titanic-like trajectory over the last few years, you've got to give him credit for steering the ship as long as he did and for navigating them through some tough times. You know, he was in charge basically of finding the funding to keep the team going for a long time, and has really been leading an uphill battle that the team are on when Gene Haas, the team owner, seems so reluctant to make an effort. You know, he's fully, even in this firing of Guenther, he has said that the team doesn't need any more investment. They just need to be doing better than doing better with what they have, which I think is quite a terrible outlook to have. I mean, we know that Gene Haas only has a Formula 1 team to market Haas tools, and you know, he's at a point where he doesn't really need to care about how the results are because the team are doing the thing that he wants, which is marketing them. However, Formula 1 is a series that is dominated by how much money you can throw at it within the budget cap, of course, unless you're Red Bull. So, you know, for Gene to be so reluctant to put more effort into it, it gives Guenther a very, very hard job to do, to work with what he's got. And he did do a good job for a few years. I mean, Haas at the start seemed like they were on the right track. You know, points in their debut, 5th place in their second race, a pole position last year. Not last year, year before now. Wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey. I'm sure it's been difficult. However, you know, the joke of him being very funny and entertaining wore off very quickly.
Sure.
And it did feel like for a while that that's all that he was really around for, because he wasn't doing anything else. So I'm personally not that sad to see him go. I think Haas... Will this be the thing that makes Haas better? No, not necessarily, not on its own. There needs to be proper change, be it in mindset, process, whatever. Something needs to change. It has to get them back on the right foot, and that's got to start at the top.
Yeah, he's been the least common denominator the whole time throughout all their bad times, right? So if you've gotten rid of all the drivers and you've gotten rid of, you know, a lot of the other members of the team and nothing's changed, you got to start at the top. You are a reflection of your own leadership, you know? So again, surprised he's lasted this long. We've seen team bosses with better track records have a shorter time.
Yeah, and like going back to Gene's statement, I mean, he said they've been spending near the budget cap this whole time. You know, at least where the budget cap's been applicable, and like we've seen other teams that have had to be scrappy and get good results, like Racing Point before they got bought out and turned into Aston Martin. They were famous for being an under-budgeted team that was scrappy and resourceful and was able to get results. You know, then on the other side of that coin, you have Williams, who just had literally zero funding and were running toothpaste carts at the back of the field. So it's a very difficult position to be in. And yeah, Guenther had to do the monkey dance to get sponsorship from wherever and whoever would give him money to support the team. I don't begrudge that. But looking at his track record, even outside of Haas, it's not exactly one of stunning successes. Like he headed the uber failure Jaguar program. Like he was helping run that team, and to the point Ford said, "We'll cut our losses and sell the team to Red Bull." So it's all Guenther's fault that Lewis Hamilton doesn't have an 8th World Championship.
Oh my god.
This is the Into the Paddock Podcast.